Good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. Today is Saturday, and I want to do a couple more things to the pond here this morning. I haven't been online lately because I'm spending time with my dad, and we're doing our father and son kind of a thing right now, but there's some things that need to be done around the yard. And one of the things I want to do is I want to do some more attention to the koi pond. As you can see, the pump is still running from when we installed it last week. I threw some feeder goldfish inside. They survived for over a week now with no problem. So maybe now it's time to actually put some real fish inside. Well, the feeder fish are real fish, but they're regular goldfish. So maybe we'll go on a search today for some koi, as well as I need to get some more LED lights. Remember, we put 2 LED lights down on that end of the pond, and we need to add some more because it's working. That was a test. I always test things out before I invest any more inside any of my projects, and it's working great. So we're going to pick up some more lights today from Lowe's. We'll do a cut and an installation of those, and like I said, maybe go look for some koi fish. So anyway, let's go ahead and get today started. So without further delay, let's get today's video underway. One of the places we always like to go when we stop by our local Lowe's is we always go into the garden department. And this is the time of year during the beginning of the spring. They have all the new shrubs and all the new flowers, the things that people are putting in their flower beds and things like that. So one of the things I noticed that they have here, the difference from the Philippines, is the type of fruit tree selection that they have here. In this area right here, they have things like apple trees and orange trees and lemon and lime, such as tangerine. And we have how many tangerine trees do we have? We have a couple tangerines. Yeah. We have a couple tangerines, and they produce lots of tangerines. But you have to be very careful. Even though they sell these here, you have to always look at the zone. And sometimes they'll sell these things, and they're not really ready for the zone that you're in. Case in point is something like the avocado. You see the avocado right here, and on the back it says the cold hardiness 30 to 20 degrees, or neg1 and neg7 C centigrade. And this area right here, it might survive certain winters, but certain winters it won't. So many times I've planted items outside and they do not survive the winter, because sometimes it goes into the sub-0 degrees in Fahrenheit here as well. And if you have a mild winter, they survive. And so you have to be careful. Now, if you plant these indoors, if you have a sunroom and you want to make it ornamental, you have a big sunroom, or if you have a greenhouse that you can bring them in over the wintertime, then it's okay. If you leave them inside the pot, but planting them in the ground, a lot of times they do not make it here. right, that's it for our Lowe's trip for today. I think it is. Let's go over to our local pet shop and see if they have any decent sized koi. We're having a problem with some of the very small feeder fish because they're getting caught in the drain, and I keep having to put them back inside the pond. They get sucked into the settlement tank, and I keep having to pull them from the settlement tank and put them in the main pond because they're only tiny. They're almost like big minnows is what I have right now. So I should probably put them in some kind of a basket or something like that while they're growing. But let's go and see if they actually have some koi over at our pet supply. Well, the fish store or the pet shop did not have any koi in stock today. Well, I picked up some goldfish food. These are smaller granules because those fish are so tiny. I've been taking some of the fish food that I had left over that were larger. I've been breaking them up. So anyway, this means there's going to be another trip somewhere to look for some koi because they don't get any more fish in until next Wednesday. So we'll do some research on Google for the local area. Maybe Somerville has some of the ponds. I know there's some places that actually construct ponds at your house and they have plants and things like that. And I'm sure they have bigger koi, but I'm sure that with the bigger koi comes a bigger price tag. So we'll continue to look. We'll do some research at the house. But right now, back to the house. We have ribs. I have some ribs that we're going to prepare for the grill today, and some pork ribs, and then after that, who knows, maybe we'll head out on the road again, and maybe it's a beautiful day today, and maybe we'll look for some koi somewhere else. Well, back here at the house, before we do the transplant of the olive tree, before we hook up the LED lights, and I also picked up a globe. One of the globes for one of the ceiling fans on the wraparound porch, I broke it when I was doing a pressure washing out there, so I picked up a replacement today. But before we do any of that, it is lunchtime, but it's going to take a while to cook those ribs. So I'm going to start getting the grill prepared, get the charcoal on, get it smoking up, throw those ribs on it because it's going to take a while. Ribs take a while to cook. I will get that taken care of, and while that's doing, I'll work on some of the projects around here, and then we'll throw those ribs on. This is actually a pretty neat little contraption right here. This item right here, it's a, I don't know what they call it, but it's a charcoal starter. You put all your charcoal inside. Even what I do is I close the cover of the cooker here, of the grill, and what it does, it stops the fire inside the charcoal so that we don't waste any charcoal. It will kill the fire, and then later on we can reuse it again. All we have to do is add just a few more new charcoal inside here, and I'll show you how I start it. I'll show you the way you're supposed to do it, and I'll show you the way I actually start it. So let me show you the way you're supposed to start your charcoal briquettes with this charcoal briquette starter. Normally inside this, underneath the bottom, you would roll up some newspaper inside there. You roll up the newspaper, and then you would light it, and then it would burn a little bit, and it starts your charcoal. But sometimes it takes 2 or 3 times, unless you've perfected it, where people roll it up, they wrap it up a lot, and the newspaper lasts a little bit longer. So what I do, I cheat a little bit. I actually have a propane tank that I use for doing, like when I'm sweating some of my copper pipes when I'm working on plumbing. And I just use my torch, and I torch some of the charcoal on the bottom, and it's a little bit faster for me to do it like that. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Well, as you can see, all of the lights are installed and I have them in the on condition right now. I'm getting ready to put it back in auto so it will come on at nighttime by itself. But everything is working. I have 2 more lights that I have to get to install and they just were not in stock today. I will pick them up either at another store or another time at this store. Anyway, that's it for today. I am going to close. Lights installed inside the pond, still need 2. And the olive tree planted in the front yard inside a container. Hopefully it will do good. That was the container that we had the calamine den inside, but the frost was so bad this last year, it dropped it down to about this high. So what I did was, since the container is so large and it needs a bigger plant inside of it, I moved the calamine den to another site. Hopefully it will repair. If it does, it does. We'll see. And then the olive tree might do well inside that one. I think it likes lots of sunlight and it's right in the middle of sunlight all day long. So we'll keep an eye on that. So on top of that, we had our grilling today where we made the pork ribs as well. And it got my dad outside away from the westerns for a little while. But before we do close today, on a serious note, we have puppies. We have puppies that need a loving home. They need to be adopted. Remember, Mary Ann had 5 pups about a month and a half ago, and in about a week, between a week and 2 weeks, they are going to be ready to go home with new moms and dads. So if you're interested, if you're in the Batangas area, or you were willing to fly or drive to the Batangas area and you are a good family member, we have 4 pups out of the 5. One of them we have already promised away, and we have the other 4. And I'll show you some pictures because we watch them every single day on the CCTV at our house at Villa Feliz. And Hapon is actually being a great dad. You can see him inside the background, and he plays with them, and they're just like their dad because Hapon is a night owl, and every night 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, all those pups are out there with their dad in their stomping ground around Villa Feliz. So anyway, like I said, if you are interested, send me a private message or send me an email and we can coordinate. Anyway, thank you. So anyway, I don't know what the next thing is on our schedule, but if we have something that's interesting, we will take you along with us. So until then, if you enjoyed today's video, please give us a thumbs up. Please share, and if you have not subscribed, just click on that little My PI Dream heart in the bottom right hand side of your screen. You'll be subscribed and you will be notified the next time we upload a new video. So until then, you have a wonderful and blessed day.